Emmerdale disaster as Dylan exposes Bear's killing of Ray. Paddy has spent months agonizingly searching for his dad after realizing he never arrived at his friends in Ireland. It transpired poor, vulnerable Bear had been trafficked by Ray Walters, Joe Absalom, and Celia Daniels, Jay Griffiths, and held against his will to carry out forced labor just a few miles from home. As Ray and Celia's crimes came to light, missing Bear reappeared in the nick of time as Paddy was having 7 bells kicked out of him by Ray. Bear reacted instantly, grabbing Ray by the throat and suffocating him. Since then, Bear has struggled to come to terms with the fact he killed the man he felt had helped him, while Paddy and Dylan Penders, Fred Kettle, have furiously been trying to stop Bear accidentally giving his murderous game away. Bear is still having a really hard time, and his grip on reality remains loose. Paddy locked him in a room for his own protection, but Bear made his escape in search of dead Anya's grave, where he bumped into Ruby Milligan, Beth Cordingley, and nearly revealed it all. Paddy has been going out of his mind trying to contain Bear and his emotional outbursts, but his attention has been so caught up in his dad, he's forgotten about Dylan. He's sworn Dylan to secrecy, but for Dylan, that secrecy cannot exclude April Windsor, Amelia Flanagan. He makes an enormous mistake. He tells April that Bear killed Ray and that he watched it happen. This is huge, not only because the more people who know weakens the chain, but that April is now part of the cover-up. Actor Dominic Brunt shared Paddy's worries with Metro. It's not just the fact that the secret is spreading, it's the fact that April is now implicated, he said. If it all comes out, she can be done for withholding information if she knows what happened and doesn't tell the police. It's not just the fact that it was just supposed to be a secret between the three. They tell Mandy, but now April knows. And is April going to want to tell Marlon and Rona? So it's more strings unraveling. He's got to keep pulling in and trying to keep this all under wraps. It's kind of working. What has Dylan done? Paddy is furious when he learns Dylan has broken their bubble, and the tension causes a meltdown in Bear. April then does exactly what Paddy is afraid of, urges him to go to the police. It's the last thing Paddy plans to do. Ray's murder hits the news, and Paddy decides it's now too risky to get crumbling Bear the help he needs. Bear finds April crying, and she confesses she's terrified of the police coming after her for her past. Her vulnerability encourages Bear to talk, and he reveals his sadness at killing Ray. April reassures him he is loved, and tries to tell him Ray is a bad man, but this confuses and triggers Bear. Paddy comes home to find his fragile dad in a state and April not much better, comforting them both with reassuring words that he promises to get Bear help. But there's one other person spiraling who Paddy has to save. Dylan is swamped with crushing guilt, and he tells Paddy he's nothing but a curse. It's time for him to leave. But everything will be taken out of their hands with what happens next. Will Bear be forced to answer to his crime? Looks like he might have to with DC Walsh on the case. Amanda Ryan, who plays DC Walsh, is just brilliant at playing this detective who just asks the right questions, and it terrifies you, Dominic shared. So it's great to play this bumbling character who's like, I don't know, I didn't say. And she double bluffs him going, yeah, but you said this last time. So it's great, I really like them little scenes and there's plenty of them. But Paddy still thinks he can save them all, and Dominic gives a cheeky little hint that things will not end well for the local vet, with it all set to unravel before his eyes. Yes, I think he does. I think he truly believes that they'll get through this. It'll go away, and nobody will be blamed, and it'll just become a village secret. But soaps being soaps, there's got to be a moral outcome. His worst fear is that it all unravels, and of course, I think it does. I know about 2 weeks ahead.